Hello everyone, my name is Ashley. Welcome to Guided Meditation. For today we have about a 10-minute practice. All you'll need for today is just somewhere comfy to sit. If you'd like to grab a yoga mat, you can sit on one of those, or a chair, somewhere that you can be comfortable for this next few minutes. Once you find that nice seated position, going ahead, if we're sitting in a chair, making sure our feet are planted firmly below us, take our hands, place them right on our knees if we're on the floor, same thing. As we're here, going ahead, if we feel comfortable, allowing our eyes to fall shut. For today's practice, we are going to be practicing the art of mindfulness, which essentially means to be aware of all that is going on within ourselves, to kind of give us a better understanding of what is going on around us. As we're here, going ahead, just beginning to take stock of our bodies, performing a mental body scan, if you will, making note of any tightness, tension, soreness, or even spots of tenderness anywhere in our bodies. Just making note of how we are breathing in this moment, continuing to just check over ourselves mentally, but making note of how we are breathing. Inhaling nice and deeply through our nose and exhaling nice and deeply through our mouths. As we do that, going ahead, making note of where we may feel that breath, whether we feel our chests rising and falling with each breath, or our bellies, not changing the way that we are breathing, simply just becoming aware, taking just a couple more deep breaths here. All right, when we are ready, going ahead, turning that same focus in on our minds. Now, as we begin to look and analyze the things in our mind, imagine that we are a third party, or a spectator, if you will. We are simply there to observe. We are not looking into our minds to shame ourselves for thinking certain things or assign guilt for certain thoughts. Simply just making note of the thoughts that are running in our heads right now. Just making note and making ourselves aware. Taking just a few deep breaths as we do that. Taking this time, checking in with ourselves, whether it be the thoughts that we are thinking or the emotions we may be feeling in this moment. Going ahead, just checking in with ourselves, making note of what exactly is going on in our minds. Again, not shaming ourselves for thinking or feeling certain emotions, simply just making note and becoming aware. As we are here, going ahead, setting an intention for today's practice, whether we have been stressed lately and we just want to take care of ourselves and spend time with ourselves just a little bit, or we would like to learn more about meditation, going ahead, just setting that intention, continuing to inhale nice and deeply through our nose and exhale nice and deeply through our mouths. Going ahead, taking as much time as we need there. And when we're ready, if we'd like, allowing those eyes to open, keeping our gazes soft. Of course, we can keep our eyes closed if we would like, but as we are here, going ahead, just introducing gentle movement to our bodies if we'd like, gently rolling our shoulders in alternation. Just gentle movements, making note once again of any tightness, tension, or soreness that we may feel in our bodies. When we're ready, going ahead, Squeezing those shoulders up to our ears. Holding. Exhale, release. Making note of all that tightness between our shoulder blades as they dissipate. Moving at our own pace. If I'm moving a little too fast, go ahead and move at your own pace. That's perfectly fine. When we're ready, going ahead, switching directions. Taking a moment, just listening in on what our bodies are telling us. When we're ready, go ahead, find a nice stopping point. Bringing that gaze back center. Go ahead, take those hands that have been resting right on our knees. Go ahead, flip them. Gently just begin rolling out that wrist. If it helps, imagining that we are changing light bulbs. Making note of that nice deep stretch and tension that we may feel right in our forearms. Making note of all that tightness and tenderness just melting away. Again, moving at our own pace, if we'd like. Still focusing in on our breathing, still listening to what our bodies are telling us. Going ahead, finding a nice stopping point for those hands. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhaling nice and deep. Reaching those hands up. As we exhale, going ahead, placing our arm right beside us, gently extending for our seated side angle. Making note of that nice deep stretch that we feel all along our side. Making sure to keep our head right underneath our arm. Exhale, go ahead, release. Inhale once again. Exhale, going ahead, switching sides, reaching on over. Making note of that nice deep stretch. Still listening to what our bodies are telling us. When we're ready, go ahead, release. And bringing those hands right back to our knees. Lastly, go ahead, gently rolling our heads around our shoulders. Making note of any tightness that we may feel there. Sometimes our bodies have better memories of stress than we give them credit for. Making note of all that tightness and all that tension, just slowly melting away. Moving at our own pace. When we're ready, going ahead, switching directions. Again, just checking in with ourselves, taking this time to be quiet with ourselves. And when we're ready, bringing ourselves to a nice stopping point. Thank y'all so much for tuning into guided meditation. I really hope y'all enjoyed and learned something from today's practice, whether it be that we can spend time with ourselves and it doesn't have to be a big thing, or we learned a bit more about meditation. Be sure to check out more of our on-demand workouts on our YouTube and our portal. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at UTSA Rec, as well as Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff. We hope to see you soon.